Welcome to the second Michigan Summer School webinar. I am Dr. Todd Karushkin. In our first video, you've heard from school counselors who have worked with Graduation Alliance for summer school for several years. They shared what it's like to work with our program, as well as how cost-effective and easy it is to get started. In today's webinar, we'll be talking with one of our dropout recovery partners and exploring some of the pain points you may be experiencing in regards to summer school, particularly funding and staffing. You may have heard that the Michigan legislature recently increased Section 25G funding to $3 million. This increase gives school districts much needed resources to support their most vulnerable students during the summer school months. Even with this increase of funding, though, many school districts struggle to find staff who are willing to work outside the regular school year, and some may not have the personnel to offer all the courses that are needed for students. Through a special membership counting provision, Graduation Alliance Dropout Recovery Program can be used as a summer school for eligible students. Our program includes more than 100 teacher-led asynchronous online courses, 360 degrees of support with academic and life challenges, 24/7 virtual tutor services, and a laptop and Wi-Fi hotspot for every student who needs them. You may remember our program manager, Doris, from the last webinar. She's back, this time with the South Lyon Community Schools Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum. Enjoy the webinar.
Hello, Lisa.
Hi, Doris.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
Yes, so this is a webinar regarding your partnership with Graduation Alliance. I am Doris Bradford, the program manager for Graduation Alliance in the state of Michigan, and I have with me.
I'm Lisa Kudwa. I'm one of the assistant superintendents for South Lyon Community Schools.
And Lisa, how long have South Lyon Community Schools been partnered with Graduation Alliance?
We're in our 11th year of working with Graduation Alliance. We joined in April of 2014.
Awesome. Yes, it's been over a decade that we have been partners in changing student lives each year. So I'm going to ask Lisa a series of questions. And Lisa, my first question to you is, describe your district's approach to alternative education. How does Graduation Alliance support and enhance this strategy?
So when I took the role as assistant superintendent, we had already disbanded our brick and mortar alternative education program, and we were not running anything on our own as a district. So we were really excited when our ISD reached out to us and mentioned that there was this partnership starting with Graduation Alliance, because we felt we weren't serving a population of students that needed a different look to high school or needed to finish their diploma because they didn't graduate with their same age peers. So we started the conversations with Graduation Alliance, and we've been using the Tier 4 dropout recovery since that point, so since 2014. And then as the years have gone on, we've added other pieces. So when some of the COVID grants came out, we added some hours to our school day that were credit recovery within the day. So students were with us for classes 5 hours out of their day, and then they had a credit recovery course that was an elective that we gave them as their 6th hour within the day to help them get caught up. And then there was grant money available for the state of Michigan as well to run summer programming. So we've been utilizing Graduation Alliance credit recovery modules for that as well too for the past 4 summers. So we have students who are using it as their full-time program, and also students who are using it within the school day or over the summer in order to stay on track toward graduation.
Right. And so part of the Tier 4 that Lisa's talking about is as she mentioned, the full-time dropout credit recovery program, or not credit recovery, the dropout recovery and prevention program. And that program is a 12-month program where students are with Graduation Alliance. And so it's been awesome to have you with the dropout recovery side, as well as our tiered side where you guys are using us for credit recovery. So it's been awesome. So Lisa, what has your experience been like working with Graduation Alliance team? So tell us about the partnership and everyone that you've worked with in both the dropout recovery side and the tier side.
So Graduation Alliance has been really responsive for us. Our staff, from our central office administrators, our building administrators, the teachers that work on our summer programming or our during the school day credit recovery, counselors, everyone has had a very good experience working with Graduation Alliance. Everyone's been very responsive on your team. We get quick responses, but most importantly to us, we know that the level of care and responsiveness we're receiving, our students are receiving too. So we're confident that the shared partnership means they're still getting the best quality, even if we're partnering with an outside organization to provide that. So the level of responsiveness and care we would want our students to have if they were with us full time in the classroom, we know they're still receiving when they're receiving coursework through Graduation Alliance.
Yeah, well said. We treat you like we treat your students, basically. Awesome. So, what are some of the biggest challenges your district faces in ensuring equitable access to summer learning opportunities, particularly for students who are behind or have failed courses?
So again, prior to partnering with Graduation Alliance, that wasn't a program that we were running. We weren't running
Right.
brick and mortar summer school classes. What we found is that the number of students who needed a particular course, whether it was second semester biology or the first semester of Algebra 2, it wasn't enough to offset the cost of a classroom teacher being there and teaching it in that condensed form. So we had not been running summer school credit recovery. We had students that were leaving our district, going other places for those credit recovery courses and bringing it back. That worked well if it was a student who had means. They had a parent who understood how to sign them up for summer school somewhere. They had the ability to drive there if it was a class that they needed to attend in person, and their family could afford to pay for it. We did not love that model, so we were excited when the state put forward grant funds where we could have students participate
Yeah.
in summer school. So for the past couple of summers, what we have been doing the past 4 summers, we have students that were coming for 4 mornings a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, for a half day. We had classroom teachers who were with them in a mentorship like role. They had a group of about 20, 25 students, and those students were working on coursework through Graduation Alliance, but there was a classroom teacher with them in case they had questions or needed help, or just to keep them motivated and going. So with the funding we had at that point for the state for COVID dollars, we were able to provide transportation and snacks. We had an administrator for the program, and we had the classroom teacher that was overseeing a smaller group of students to really motivate them and make sure they were staying on track. So that was what we've been using for the past 4 summers while there was that money available through the state.
Right. And so I recently informed Lisa during, one of our check-in calls about the increase in 25G funding, which is supplemental funds for districts to tap into to service students over the summer utilizing the Dropout Recovery and Prevention Program. And I informed her that that increase went from 750,000 to 3 million this particular summer. So, Lisa, please share a little bit how summer school is typically funded in your district, which you kind of explained already, and discuss the impact of 25G funding on your district. So, Lisa and Southline Community Schools has decided to partner with Graduation Alliance this summer in the full-time dropout recovery and prevention program. So, how does the Graduation Alliance fit into this picture?
So we were actually really sad because the state funding for that could be used towards summer school funding is finished. That grant allocation period is over. So
Mhm.
we were trying to figure out if there was something that we could be doing, and we just couldn't come up with a way to make that financially viable. So we'd actually already announced to our community we didn't think we were going to be able to offer credit recovery over this summer. And then we happened to see something come through Grad Alliance, and I asked you about it in one of our meetings. And so we were able to meet the other day. Therese, both of our high school principals, myself, our secondary director, and some staff from Graduation Alliance, and talk about that 25G funding. So what we'll be doing this summer is offering the credit recovery in a virtual setting. So we're still planning to use some grant dollars in order to have classroom teachers that are overseeing it. In our district's experience, Graduation Alliance staff is awesome. They work really hard to build relationships with students. Our concern was in a short time span of just those 2 summer months, July and really August and a little bit of June, that
Mhm.
students might not develop that deep of a relationship. And when we have those strong relationships, students tend to work a little harder for us. They tend to be receptive to our feedback. So we felt it was important to still assign classroom teachers to groups of students to kind of
Mm.
monitor their progress as they're going. The difference this year is that will be an entirely virtual platform. So staff will be reaching out to students remotely. We won't be requiring anybody to come in to the school or into classrooms, but it'll allow us to still have students maintaining that progress toward graduation and recovering credits that they might be behind.
Right. And that's what the GA summer school program is all about, is just trying to get students who are lacking credits on track so that they can go back to the fall, not being stressed of, oh, I need to make up 2 classes, 3 classes, so they can just enjoy their fall semester feeling like they're on track to graduate with their class. So, Lisa, you have been extraordinary, and I really appreciate your time and coming into, or joining me, I should say, in this webinar to basically share your experience with the Graduation Alliance partnership. And you are just a great leader in your district, and I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Joyce. We really appreciate the partnership. We're happy to work with you to keep kids on track toward graduation.